I could not find any credible source confirming the cause of death for Pierre Robert. He was found dead at his home on the 29th of October 2025. Media outlets note that no foul play is suspected at this time. The station and related statements have not publicly disclosed a definitive cause. Good day, citizens. I'm pleased to bring you the story of a man who, for more than 4 decades, was the voice in the rock arenas of Philadelphia, a man who greeted his audience with "Greetings, citizens," and made them feel part of something larger than just a radio show. That man is Pierre Robert. From a humble beginning in California to the midday airwaves of Philadelphia's rock station, Pierre's journey is one of passion, consistency, and connection. In this story, we'll look at his early life, the career path that led him to legendary status, his lifestyle and personal values, an estimate of his net worth, and the legacy he leaves behind. Pierre Robert was born the 1st of August 1955 in Jockey, California. His given name, William Pierre Robert. He grew up in a time and place that would influence his sensibilities, the West Coast of the United States, the tail end of the Vietnam era, the rise of rock and counterculture. He began his radio career at KSAN FM in San Francisco, one of the early progressive rock stations in the country. When KSAN changed its format to urban country, Western, Pierre felt it was time to move on. Then he made a bold move. He drove his 1,970 seconds Volkswagen microbus nicknamed Minerva across the country to Philadelphia to pursue a new radio home. According to a municipal resolution, he arrived in Philadelphia with his microbus and $500 loaned from his father. It's a vivid image: a California radio DJ, hippie-style van, long hair, heading east into a new city and a new life. In 1981, Pierre Robert joined WMMR-FM, 93.3 FM, in Philadelphia. He started in the music library and in weekend, overnight shifts, gradually building his way into the midday show. At the station, his persona developed, greeting listeners as citizens, ushering in the day with Great Day in the morning, playing deep tracks, local artists, and celebrating rock heritage. His show eventually settled into the midday slot around 10:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday to Friday. Over the years, he became a fixture. Interviews with major artists, live-in studio performances, On This Day, history segments, vinyl cuts from the archive. The station celebrated his 25th, 35th, 40th anniversaries on air. For example, in 2021, the station announced his 40th year on air and noted his van Minerva being part of his early story. A city resolution proclaimed the 24th of November 2021 Pierre Robert Day in recognition of his 4 decades at the station. He signed a multi-year contract extension in January 2024, showing that even after decades, he was still committed. Pierre's style was unique in several ways. His greetings, citizens, established a friendly community-oriented tone. He treated listeners not as passive audiences, but as part of a collective, good citizens. His music philosophy, both heritage rock and new artists, local scenes, and national stars. He refused to be tied to only one era. Off-air, he was described as the same man on and off the air, no big ego, a genuine love of music and people. He rode the concert circuit, attended thousands of shows, held the roaming rock microphone, capturing crowd and artist moments. He had a hippie aesthetic, long hair, beard, laid-back vibe, yet he mastered the demands of live radio. Pierre Robert maintained a lifestyle that reflected his values rather than flashy materialism. He settled in Gladwin, a Philadelphia suburb, in 1992, choosing a house with character 1,950 seconds, modern design. Rather than a typical celebrity mansion, he remained visible in the community high fives. Concert crowd stops, approachable. The station noted that fans would bump into him in concourses, call out, "Hey, Pierre," and get a selfie. He supported charitable causes, annual AIDS walk, Manners Pie in the Sky fundraiser, homeless outreach via Project Home with Sister Mary Scullion. He never seemed to chase celebrity outsized lifestyle. His radio persona mirrored his personal values: authenticity, community, music, kindness. As he himself said, "Optimism is a craft, one must work at it." There's one anecdote. He once said he stopped playing the band Guns N' Roses after they stiffed the Philly crowd in 2002, showing he held accountability to fans and city. His van Minerva is emblematic of his journey. Not a luxury car, but a symbol of his roots, his language with the road, his arrival into Philadelphia. There is no publicly verified figure for Pierre Robert's net worth. One estimate from a less reliable site listed it as $595 million in 2025. However, that number is almost surely exaggerated. These sites often use algorithmic influence metrics rather than actual earnings. Given the following factors, he spent 44 years at one station, 1,981, 2025. Midday rock radio presenter salary in a major market such as Philadelphia can be substantial but unlikely in the hundreds of millions. Additional income sources: concert appearances, endorsements, maybe voiceover work, may add. Cost of living, taxes, lifestyle choices, house in Gladwin. Modest persona suggest he was comfortable but not extravagantly flashy. A more realistic educated guess might place his net worth in the several $million range, perhaps low tens of millions rather than hundreds of millions. Though without disclosure, we cannot know for sure. When using information from mass media databases, always treat net worth as speculative unless verified. Induction into the Philadelphia Music Alliance Walk of Fame in 2019. More than 40 years at one station, rare in the radio business. He developed signature segments, workforce blocks, vinyl cut, On This Day, coffee break music marathon. Celebrations of his anniversary station did themed programming, listener tributes. He became beloved in Philadelphia not just for his voice, but for his presence in the city's rock scene, attending shows, engaging with fans, making radio about more than music, about community. He was recognized by his station group as heart and soul of WMMR. What will Pierre Robert be remembered for? A trusted voice. People who dialed WMMR each midday knew it wasn't just music. It was connection, context, local flavor. Bridge builder. Between classic rock and new rock. Between fans and artists. Between radio and live concerts. Authenticity. He remained grounded, approachable, genuine. Listeners felt they weren't just customers, they were citizens in his universe. Longevity. In an industry of churn, changes in format, shifting technologies, Pierre stayed relevant, adaptable, and still himself. Community service, using his microphone power for causes, showing that radio personalities can be more than voices, they can be civic actors. His style, equal parts librarian of rock's past, explorer of rock's future, and champion of the everyday listener, makes him a model for on-air talent who want to last, rather than just blaze fast and fade. Pierre Robert's story reminds us that success doesn't always mean grandiose lifestyles or fleeting fame. It can mean a quiet steadiness, a commitment to craft, to listeners, to one city, one station, one beat. Driving across the country in a van, getting hired at $3.50 an hour, staying for 40+ years, all this built a legacy. As he often signed off, peace and love, citizens. His departure leaves a gap in the airwaves, but his voice will resonate for decades to come.